Good morning and welcome to year number 5 of Pitt to the Point. I'm Ryan Tarabokia.
And I'm Lucy Landy. Pitt to the Point is your weekly 1-hour Emmy Award nominated news and magazine program that airs live from the state-of-the-art Pitt studios.
Pitt to the Point covers everything from the University of Pittsburgh to the City of Pittsburgh, as well as national and international events, news, people, and stories.
We're back with your favorite segments such as Alumni Spotlight and Clubbing at Pitt, which showcases one of Pitt's amazing student-run organizations.
We'll feature stories from our incredible University of Pittsburgh regional campuses and tell you the top headlines from our neighborly journalists in arms, the Pitt News.
And we'll be joined live by our affiliate college and high school partners and their student anchors who will tell you what's going on in their schools and communities. Now, we're statewide, from Pittsburgh to Lancaster to Philadelphia.
And of course, we will continue to bring you the most up-to-date news from the world of politics, sports, business and technology, medicine, and entertainment in the city of Pittsburgh and at the University of Pittsburgh.
Nancy Guthrie, mother of Today Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, disappeared from her home in the Catalina foothills of Arizona 2 weeks ago.
Authorities have been on the case since Guthrie was reported missing on February 1st. Several alleged ransom notes have been sent to news agencies, but none substantiated.
Guthrie's 3 children have pleaded with the public for any information regarding their mother, as well as any sign of life from the possible kidnapper. The Guthries state their mother is fragile and in need of daily medication.
Video surveillance captured a 5'9" or 10 male with an average build and an Ozark Trail hiker pack on Guthrie's front porch in the wee hours of February 1st. After releasing the footage, the FBI have still not identified a suspect or person of interest.
This entire team here, those behind me, and our community are hurting with you. We really just want Mom back. Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there. Our department, the Sheriff's Department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock. And we just want her home and get and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you do.
The Pennsylvania State Senate passed a bill banning cell phone use during the school day.
The bipartisan bell-to-bell bill would prohibit phone use in public schools while leaving implementation and enforcement up to school districts.
Teachers' unions across the state have signaled their support. Furthermore, Governor Josh Shapiro called for a completed bill to be put on his desk. The Senate referred to the bill to the House Education Committee on Wednesday, February 4th, for voting and review. Parents know that prepping the kids for school isn't just what they bring in their backpacks.
National vaccine recommendations have officially changed, but rhetoric remains confusing. With more on the story, we have political reporter Maxine Van Nortwick. Maxine?
As measles cases rise across the United States, Dr. Mehmet Oz, administrator for the CMS, has advised and implored Americans to protect themselves against measles with a vaccine. As guidelines are changing with the new CDC vaccine recommendations, alongside rhetoric, which some have said confusing, many experts have said this could cause a change and effect for vaccination rates. Dr. Mehmet Oz, administrator at the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Administration, said in a February 8th interview that Americans should be getting vaccinated for the measles vaccine amid rising case numbers and general vaccination distrust.
Not all illnesses are equally dangerous and not all people are equally susceptible to those illnesses, but measles is one you should get your vaccine.
Oz works under Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has at times supported the vaccine and at others sowed distrust by saying it had not been, quote, safely tested.
Part of the vaccine has never worked. It was actually Merck, which made the vaccine, was sued recently in a whistleblower case by the lab technician who was ordered to commit fraud.
Dr. Sharon Welburn, an assistant professor of epidemiology at the University of Pittsburgh, says this mixed messaging from Kennedy, Oz, and the federal government could affect vaccination rates.
And so when we see these, two sides that don't seem to match up, especially when one is somebody in your federal government, that's going to lead to fewer vaccination rates.
The mixed messaging comes as measles cases rise across the U.S., with 20 states reporting cases as of February 10th. Additionally, South Carolina is seeing its largest outbreak with 920 measles cases reported since last fall. Welburn says some of this rise in cases could be due to mistrust or confusion about U.S. vaccination guidelines, especially following January 5th changes to recommendation statuses for some childhood vaccinations.
When people don't know what is required or what is recommended, or if they are distrustful of the vaccine that's required or recommended, they're less likely to take it, right? Uptake of vaccines has been dropping since, Andrew Wakefield's article many years ago. But when you have a drop in vaccination rates, you run the risk of not meeting that vaccine threshold to have herd immunity.
As of early February, there have been no reported cases of measles in Allegheny County, though Lancaster County has seen 5. Allegheny City's health department put out a statement about monitoring the area with measles, saying, "We highly recommend every resident check their immunization record and speak with their personal healthcare provider or visit the ACHD immunization clinic to discuss how to protect themselves and their loved ones from measles." The Allegheny County Health Department advises those looking to stay protected against the measles this season to take the MMR vaccine, which the CDC states has a 97% rate of efficacy. For Pitt to the Point, I'm political reporter Maxine Van Orwick. Ryan, Lucy?
Thank you, Maxine. Supporting your community can come in all different forms, or should I say breeds?
Today we have a very special guest to talk about how that support can start with gaining a furry friend. Here is Gisele Fetterman, Director of Strategic Partnerships and Development at PACT for Animals.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
For being here. So, Gisele, what was your inspiration for PACT for Animals?
When I learned about this organization, I just fell in love with it and knew I wanted to be a part of it. It addresses this big kind of gap in the system. If you have a crisis, if you are a military member who is being deployed, if you had a child who is in the NICU for 6 months, if you have a sudden health crisis, what happens to that pet for that window? And this organization steps in to fill that need so that these temporary crises don't end up in permanent separations.
That's amazing. And especially with such like a heartfelt mission, like what for you has been the most impactful part of being part of this organization?
So we had a veteran who had extreme PTSD who was afraid to seek help because there was no one to stay with his dog while he did that. And his dog is what was keeping him alive. So he was able to seek treatment for, mental health and depression and PTSD because someone was staying with his dog. And he knew that he would be reunited with him at the end of his treatment.
So, Gisele, what do you think is the biggest challenge that PACT faces on a day-to-day basis?
So because we're a national organization, it's ensuring that we have foster homes available in all 50 states because crises are not something you plan for. And we have to be ready to place these pets as soon as the need arises.
And how can someone interested get involved with helping with PACT for Animals?
So it's a great opportunity if you're not maybe ready for a long-term pet, but you want a small-term commitment. Commitments can be anywhere from a couple weeks to 2 years for a longer deployment. And you can check the website and they have a list of available pets. We've placed many in Pittsburgh over the years, and you can open up your home to a pet, your couch, extra belly rubs. You could also share our work online. There's always pets we're looking to place and also donate to the organization.
So now, how does this project fit into your broader charity work for the City of Pittsburgh?
I think we're here to help each other, and I'm always looking for ways to continue to expand that. I think it's important to continue to do this work quietly. Is how I like to go through my work. I've supported pets a lot. We do a lot of pet pantries through the free store. But this is another need that I guess never thought of until I learned about this organization. What happens to that dog or cat if you're suddenly living at the hospital for 6 weeks so you can heal? So it's a great honor to be able to be there for someone so they can heal or they can serve.
That's amazing. And definitely going off of that, you have all these varied interests in different sectors, but it's all based in like supporting people. So like what kind of drives you to embark on all these different, charity opportunities?
I think my ADHD is definitely my superpower. And whether it's firefighting or the free store or this kind of work, for me, it's a gift that I can not feel boxed into one theme and really work on a lot of things that I care about.
And media is one of those things that can, try to box you in. How does being in the spotlight impact your charity work?
Well, I think for me, that's been the least favorite part for me. I haven't enjoyed that part of the journey. I'm, a pretty private, quiet person, so I'd rather just keep my head down and do the work. It's beneficial in places like this where you guys will spread this message and hopefully gain us more foster homes and more supporters. And maybe someone is watching who is going to face a health crisis and will need our support. So there's, of course, a great benefit in that way.
Yeah, and definitely being able to spread the message, but also like doing something new every day. So how does it feel to be able to work through different fields, but also with new people every day across the entire country, not just Pittsburgh?
For me, it's very freeing. I would really struggle with a one role, the way my brain works and the way that I really need to be constantly doing different things. So for me, like firefighting was a really great addition to my work because every single day it's a completely different challenge. But, when I'm placing pets like Fluffy and Snoopy in homes all day, I mean, that also brings immense joy. And I'm at a point in my life that I have to do things that fulfill me, but also bring me joy. And I kind of won't budge on that.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to have so much joy in your life, but also impart that on others is just a noble task, in my personal opinion. But I guess we'd be a little remiss to ask, like, how is your husband doing, just health-wise?
Sure, he's great.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's amazing. And thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
And
thank you for
spending
having me. You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Gisele.
so
We
much.
always appreciate it. Our next segment is full of love, and not just in 2026.
And there's more than one organization helping furry friends in the city of Pittsburgh. Learn about all this and more up next on Pitt to the Point.
So honored and humbled to officially welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh.
Never in our 238-year history has a Pitt education been so much in demand. It's possible at Pitt is not just something we say when you walk in the door. Hail to each of you, hail to possible, and hail to Pitt.
This morning, you take your place in this honor. This morning, you take your place in this honored tradition. You take your place in a time of great challenge and even greater opportunity.
Community comes at the cost of your comfort zone. You don't just stumble upon community in college, you create it. I hope that your journey outside of your comfort zone eventually leads you to a community that welcomes you exactly as you are. Class of 2029, whatever you're feeling.
Thank you for tuning back in to Pitt to the Point. Happen to watch a story today that piques your curiosity? Want to find out more about what's going on in Pittsburgh? Visit our website.
That's right. If you want to find out more about the world of politics, medicine, business, technology, and more, log on to pittothepoint.com.
Not only can you see clips from today's show, but you can also read about the topics that interest you and more. Check it out at pittothepoint.com. With love and snow in the air, the City of Pittsburgh is pleased to host their 20th annual Valentine's on Ice.
Head on over to the Shenley Park Ice Rink this Saturday, February 14th, to skate in circles, hand-make souvenirs, and join in on the indoor activities.
It's fun for the whole family or just you and that special someone. 3 to 5 is all ages, while 7 to 9 is 18 plus. Tickets must be bought in advance on the City of Pittsburgh's website.
Attendees should make sure to bring their own skates or rent them out at the rink. Have fun and, of course, bundle up.
The season of love can bring people together and opens their hearts to new people, places, and possibly pets.
If you're interested in adding a new addition to your family, our City Beat reporter, Michaela Alvers, has a story for you. Michaela?
Pittsburgh residents had an opportunity to meet their match this past week. The Humane Animal Rescue of Pittsburgh hosted their annual Heart to Heart adoption event. This Valentine's Day event allowed for dogs to meet with potential pet owners in hopes of finding their forever home.
In the spirit of Valentine's Day in February, we decided that we would do a Heart to Heart event. So again, with all of the intentions and love and emotions of the season. So it's kind of an open house where folks can come in, maybe have a sweet little Valentine's treat. We have some crafts for kids to do. And also it's an opportunity to come in and meet a few furry friends, just like this little pup I have here. All throughout the year, it's important to adopt. We have, like many shelters across the country, we are always at or near capacity for dogs. Sometimes, during the winter, especially being an urban shelter, we see a rise in strays. And so, we encourage folks to maybe, because they are spending more time indoors, that it might just be a really good time to consider adding a furry friend to their family.
So I came in July of 2023 to adopt a dog. I was looking at a couple different dogs and just talked to the people here about what kind of dog I was looking for and personality-wise. And they told me about Ham. His name then was Captain Crunch. And they said, you should meet him because he seems like what you're looking for. So they brought him out and it was love at first sight. And I thought it was just such a nice idea to bring people into the shelter that might otherwise just not want to stop by on their own or make an appointment. So come to an event, it's social, you get to meet people that work here, and then, meet dogs that you see in the book, and you're like, oh, I want to go back and try to meet with them. And so I thought it was a great idea. And so my firm, Pollock Bag, sponsored the event, and Ham and I come here as ambassadors for that.
Well, there are many ways folks can help us. They can volunteer. If they can't adopt, they could foster. We're always in need of fosters for neonatal puppies and kittens. And obviously, folks can donate to us, whether it's financially or to our wish list. Everything from treats and dog food and beds. All of those make a difference every day and can help. We've always had sort of the last couple of years some sort of Valentine event. So we just kind of did it with a little bit of a twist this year. So, again, pets give us unconditional love, so it just seemed perfect to kind of tie it into Valentine's Day.
Between the east side and north side locations, the Humane Animal Rescue of Pittsburgh has about 50 animals currently up for adoption. For more information, you can head to humaneanimalrescue.org. Now, puppies give us a lot of love into our future, but what about love from our past? Here's Pitt Beat reporter Natalie Fogel.
Thanks, Michaela. History books don't show everything from our past. Soldiers and Sailors, a museum located in the heart of Pitt's campus, recently had a Valentine's Day event where they had live love letter readings using museum's archives, along with live musical performances. While these letters were made in a time of conflict, this event shows that these people were still filled with love and emotion.
Soldiers and Sailors, a museum located in the heart of campus. This memorial is the largest in the country, dedicated to honor all veterans from various branches of the military. In honor of Valentine's Day, the museum hosted an event with live music as well as reading aloud love letters from different historical time periods.
This is a gathering of people who want to celebrate what it is to serve your country and to be in love in tragic circumstances.
I was archiving everything and inventorying everything, and I just realized that we've had a lot of letters dating all the way back from the Civil War. I started reading those letters, and they give you like this little glimpse of history that you don't read in the history books, especially when you have two sides of the conversation. So it basically shows the emotion of what was going on in that particular period of time. Because that's what we do. We educate the community about our veterans through our artifacts. What a better way than through the veterans' own words.
I think it's important to remember that they're real people, and a lot like myself, a lot of them are the same age as me. I feel like I am able to connect with these people in the past.
While the focus is love, there's a deeper meaning to this event for so many people. Everyone involved or simply attending can feel these emotions on a personal level.
Here at the University of Pittsburgh, we have a lot of amazing opportunities for students that some don't know about, right? We have Pitt Stages, which does their seasons. We have plenty of performance clubs. But I heard about this, and it just seemed like an interesting opportunity. You know, we're doing something not only performative-wise, but we're also doing something, I think, for the community. A lot of war veterans or a lot of individuals that sometimes may not be seen all the time.
Well, a few of my friends have done this the past few years, and also my grandfather fought in the Vietnam War, and I took him to a couple of events here whenever he was still alive, so I thought it was a nice way to, I guess, honor him.
History is something that can be read over and over again, but the ability to feel like you're living in it is something unique to experience, especially when what you're experiencing doesn't feel much different from your everyday life.
I hope that the audience takes away that people in the past aren't that different from us. Like, I don't know, I have a hard time feeling particularly connected to history and to people in history. And reading these letters, I was overcome with the feeling that they're text messages. Like, they feel like text messages.
I think the fact that they're very relatable, all of the back and forth letters between the couples just seem like something that people would talk about today if they were a little bit more open and felt comfortable to do so over text, I guess. It's very interesting, though, seeing the long-winded love letters when it's so early on in the relationship of some of these couples, because the men were taken away so early when they started dating. And I wouldn't really think of people today as being that open about love, so it's nice to hear.
While Soldiers and Sailors allows guests the opportunity to experience history beyond just the textbooks and understand love in its purest form. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt Beat reporter Natalie Fogel. Ryan, Lucy.
Now, love can take many forms. Love for your community, your friends and family, a significant other. But Pitt to the Point has a new beau that we just can't get enough of.
Student journalism! The Pitt News has been the student voice on campus since 1910. So let's stay in their good books by seeing what's at the top of their headlines.
Pittsburgh homeless shelters, volunteers, and the Allegheny County Department of Human Services are taking steps forward to provide homes and resources for the unhoused individuals in this terrible winter. Receiving over 11 inches of snow and record-breaking low temperatures, being outside isn't good for anyone during this time. In March of 2025, over 1,000 individuals in Allegheny County were homeless. In November, as a result, Allegheny County announced their winter shelter plan. This will provide food, shelter, and many other resources for people in need. Love is in the air here in Pittsburgh. With Valentine's Day coming up, students are honoring their relationships with their friends. They call this Galentine's Day.
And I would describe it as just hanging out with a group of girls that you're close friends with and just celebrating the friendship rather than a relationship that you want on Valentine's Day.
She stole the words right out of my mouth. I have heard of Valentine's Day too, and yeah, just hang out with your friends, doing something fun, and yeah.
Do you guys have any Galentine's Day plans this year?
I do. I'm actually going to DC with a group of my girlfriends, and we're just gonna have a fun weekend together.
I don't necessarily have any plans, but I plan on hanging out with some close friends.
We are only halfway through the show, but we've already covered love in every sense of the word.
Well, hopefully everyone will love staying tuned for our next segments. We're taking you to Oakland, downtown, and the North Shore as sports continue to run the city of Pittsburgh.
Can you hear me?
This is interesting.
Is this on? Can y'all see me?
Do I just talk?
Pitt basketball beating WVU in the backyard brawl.
Favorite Pitt memories running out during the backyard brawl.
Pitt's a beautiful place. I'm graduating in a couple of weeks. I'm really sad about it. I really am so grateful for the time I've had here.
My favorite Pitt memory was defending my thesis this year.
And ever since the first day of classes, we've been friends because we're directionally challenged.
My favorite memory was all the times I spent with my friends.
I should do it. Working on a movie with one of my good friends.
My favorite Pitt memory was winning Backyard Brawl at like the last second because I was going to leave.
Going to the Pitt volleyball games and seeing them beat Penn State and Louisville and all the people.
My favorite memory is the photo shoot we just had for the ballet club at Pitt.
My favorite Pitt memory this year was winning the Backyard Brawl. H2P, baby.
And I just finished my last German class and I started tearing up because after 5 years we finally did it. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. It's like nice out, it's beautiful, and I'm like so happy. Bye!
Hello, and welcome back to Pitt to the Point.
The show has flown by today, but don't fret. We will be right back with you next week at the same time, and the week after that, and the week after that.
Pitt to the Point airs every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on the amazing University of Pittsburgh website, the Pitt to the Point website, and YouTube channel. You can also find a taped version of the show on Pittsburgh's CBSN, which is KDKA's TV streaming platform, on Saturday at noon.
And we are excited to say you can also catch a re-airing of today's Pitt to the Point in Philadelphia every Saturday at noon on CBS Philadelphia's streaming platform.
Here at Pitt to the Point, there is nothing we appreciate more than seeing our affiliate high school getting students involved in broadcasting.
And Montour High School is doing just that. Head around the bus loop to see how the Spartans are kickstarting their careers.
This is where the news breaks, stories matter, and your voice gets louder than your group chat. You don't need experience, you need curiosity, confidence, and maybe a little chaos.
You will report, produce, edit, and own the room. Mistakes encouraged, creativity required. So grab a camera and mic, because in this class,
we don't just watch the news,
we make it!
Six former Pitt women's basketball players are suing the University of Pittsburgh's head coach, Tori Verdi, for alleged verbal abuse as well as Title IX violations.
Faber Raven Boswell, Michaela Elmore, Brooklyn Miles, Isabella Perkins, and Jasmine Timerson will be represented by attorney Keenan Holmes. They claim that they experienced emotional, psychological, and verbal abuse beyond normal coaching.
The University of Pittsburgh statement shared via a university spokesperson states, the University of Pittsburgh is aware of these lawsuits and their allegations, which are without merit and will be vigorously defended. Verdi is in his third season as head coach, and the Panthers are currently 8-18.
The NFL draft is barely over 2 months away. Safe to say, it's just around the corner, Ryan.
Well, for us here in Pittsburgh, it will actually be just around the corner, taking place in the North Shore. This is just the third time Pittsburgh is hosting the draft, last hosting in 1949. So if you missed it then, don't worry. You'll be able to catch it this time. With more on the draft, we turn to City Sports reporter James Carter. James?
We are officially 69 days away from the NFL draft right here in the Steel City, and the picture is becoming clearer. Fans can now have a general idea of what to expect when the big day rolls around. The Visit Pittsburgh and the NFL have done their level best to show off what this football town has to offer and what is sure to be an historic event for the city of Pittsburgh. The NFL and Visit Pittsburgh have released the first renderings of the event area for the 2026 NFL Draft running from April 23rd to 25th right here in Pittsburgh. The main stage will be outside of Acrisure Stadium and is expected to be larger than the playing field inside of the stadium. Tickets for the close-up viewing area are on sale. The rest of the area is open to the public and is expected to take up a large portion of the North Shore area. There will be alternate viewing and seating options for fans in the parking lot on the opposite side of the stadium outside the PPG Science Center. Jared Becker, president and CEO of Visit Pittsburgh, said of the event, quote, "From North Shore to Point State Park, across the bridge and along the rivers, the draft will show off the city's character and hospitality. Over 1 million people are expected to be inside the city of Pittsburgh during the weekend, with the draft estimated to generate between $120 and $160 million for the city and the state of Pennsylvania. Point State Park will also host a variety of experiences for visitors, including programming for children, interactive exhibits, and food and drink options. The Roberto Clemente Bridge will be closed to vehicles throughout the event in order to provide fans with easy access to and from the North Shore area. The Gateway Clipper fleet will also take fans between draft sites, showing off Pittsburgh's iconic Three Rivers. Further details will be provided as draft day gets closer. This draft is a huge event for a die-hard football town of Pittsburgh and is a great chance to introduce to the world what the city has to offer and celebrate the next generation of the game of football. Earlier this week was report day for pitchers and catchers of the Pittsburgh Pirates, marking the beginning of their spring training in Bradenton, Florida. Earlier this week, the Pirates also signed Marcell Ozuna, formerly of the Atlanta Braves, who is likely to fill the team's role as a designated hitter and hopefully provide a much-needed power bat to aid their elite pitching core. Fans of the Pirates have a lot of optimism heading into the season and will find out soon whether or not their faith is misplaced. For more sports, we kick it over to Pitt sports reporter Colin Ferguson. Colin?
Pitchers and catchers may be returning to their major league roster this week, but for Division I baseball, their season as a whole is about to kick off. The Pitt Panthers begin their year with a matchup against the Western Michigan Broncos today, February 13th, in Port Charlotte, Florida. Senior shortstop Caden Doolin spoke remarkably highly of this year's roster and their extended preparation for their season ahead.
They go. Swinging a fly ball deep to left field. Rose back towards the monster. It's gone!
The weather is starting to heat up, and with that comes the spring slate of Division I athletics, including Pitt baseball, who kicks off their season this weekend in Port Charlotte, Florida, up against Western Michigan. Senior shortstop Caden Doolin is remarkably excited and believes that him and his roster are ready for this season to tee off.
So I think last year we kind of fell short of what we wanted to do as a ball team. But I think with what we have, a lot of the newcomers and what we have coming back as returners, I think that the expectation is to win a lot of baseball games and to make a regional, which Pitt hasn't done in, 30 years.
Doolin spoke highly of the team's cohesion this past offseason, making a point to mention both off-the-field activities and on.
We do a lot of Bible studies together with 20-plus guys. Everyone is very close and very vulnerable with each other, and we're able to talk through a lot of things. It is really cool to see, 20 returners and 20 new guys really gel as a team, and I think that's going to be the difference this year.
Doolin made sure to emphasize the team's preparedness entering their first series of the season, but also made sure to point out that the entire roster is placing an emphasis on just taking it 1 week at a time.
Not trying to look too forward ahead, honestly. We're trying to focus on Friday and get the win there, but we should be getting 3 wins this weekend and expect nothing less.
Doolin was ranked a top 50 shortstop in the nation by D1 Baseball this preseason, and while he appreciated the accolade, he also would much rather let his play on the field do the talking. He also made an emphasis to speak about this year's mantra for the team, with it being just 2 words: be relentless. From Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt sports reporter Colin Ferguson. Ryan, Lucy? From Pitt current baseball to Pitt former basketball players, the University of Pittsburgh's heritage extends beyond current athletes and into the alumni network.
This week, for our alumni spotlight, we want to highlight the work of former Pitt basketball player Jeremy Holmes. Holmes was a member of the team from 1998 to 2000 and is the founder of Holmes Court Media.
So my name is Jeremy Holmes. Graduated from Pitt in 2000. I studied social science and media communications as a scholarship athlete. Big East, Division I level. You got NBA prospects both on my team and as opponents. It's kind of a spoiled situation, right? Where everything is taken care of. You're not paying for anything. You're eating good. You're living good. The basketball was at a very high level. But, at the end of the day, it's about the people that you meet along the way. And so I probably taken more of that part of the long-term friendships and, my teammates who I now consider brothers more so than the basketball part, even though the basketball part was amazing. The exact reason why I wrote the book is Because of how difficult the transition is to the real world, I had been playing basketball all my life. That's all I knew. That transition for most of us is difficult because you've done it that way for that long. Like, you become that person who gets used to people cheering for you. When you go to work in the real world, nobody's cheering for you when you get to work. It really takes a lot of athletes a while to get adjusted because they really don't know themselves. We live in a highlight society, and so when you only see the good parts, you think that everything is good, and it's not. I probably started coaching in 2002 because I was about 23, 24 years old. Never had a desire to do it, but the kids that I was coaching didn't know what I knew. I get to teach them things that I know, and they can use it to be effective on the court. So I think my favorite thing about coaching is when the players come back and the way they respond to you, right? I saw one of my former players coaching in the youth league, and then he sent me a message back. He said, "Everything makes sense now." That moment is what you do it for.
We could go on and on about the success that takes place daily here in Pittsburgh, but right after the break, we are going to take you out to Pitt Greensburg to see what's in store for their new trio program.
Then we'll come right back to the city to discuss artificial intelligence and see if AI is the answer.
This morning, you take your place in this honored tradition. You take your place in a time of great challenge and even greater opportunity.
Community comes at the cost of your comfort zone. You don't just stumble upon community in college, you create it. I hope that your journey outside of your comfort zone eventually leads you to a community that welcomes you exactly as you are. Class of 2029, whatever you're feeling right now, I hope that sometime soon you feel at home.
Congratulations, class of 2029, and good luck to you as you begin your journey.
Someone a long time ago had an idea that we could change the way we do things. What if you had over 30,000 big thinkers and believers behind you, and $1 billion in research to make it happen? With a will that never quits in a city connected to everything. Well, you'd probably find yourself doing something truly incredible.
Can you hear me? This is interesting. Is this on? Can y'all see me?
Do I just talk?
Pitt basketball beating WVU in the backyard brawl.
Favorite Pitt memories, running out during the backyard brawl.
Pitt's a beautiful place. I'm graduating in a couple weeks. I'm really sad about it. I really am so grateful for the time I've had here.
My favorite Pitt memory was defending my thesis this year.
And ever since the first day of classes, we've been friends because we're directionally challenged.
My favorite memory was all the times I spent with my friends.
I should do it. Working on a movie with one of my good friends.
My favorite Pitt memory was winning backyard brawl at like the last second because I was going to leave.
Going to the Pitt volleyball games and seeing them beat Penn State and Louisville and all the people.
My favorite memory is the photo shoot we just had for the ballet club at Pitt.
My favorite Pitt memory this year was winning the backyard brawl. H2P, baby.
And I just finished my last German class and I started tearing up because after 5 years, we finally did it. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. It's like nice out, it's beautiful, and I'm like so happy. Bye.
have no time to waste here in the show, too. So we are launching right over to our regional campus reporter.
But before we do, we should let you know that Pitt Greensburg is launching its brand new TRIO program. TRIO is a government-funded program that will offer academic guidance for students. For more, we turn to regional campus reporter Nathan Newbar. Nathan?
The University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg's new TRIO program will serve as a liaison connecting underrepresented students with student services. They're the third Pitt campus to receive this program, joining the likes of Pitt Bradford and Oakland's main campus. They expect to emulate the same success. The University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg received nearly $273,000 in federal grant money to launch its own TRIO program. The Milstein Library will be the home of this new student services program.
So the TRIO program is meant to service first-gen, low-income, and students with disabilities. And it's meant to just provide them and encourage them to use more services that the university has and is creating for these students to help them succeed, so we retain them across all 4 years and get them to graduate on time. We're placing it on the second floor of Milstein Library. And the reason being is that we had a few open office spaces, and also Milstein Library houses a lot of student support services already. Academic advising is held here. The Learning Resource Center is held here. The Disability Coordinator, her office is here. So we kind of felt like it was a central place that students could go and get all the support that they need, or a lot of that support.
We found that just having that point of contact, that somebody is actually going to be with them the whole time that they're in college. They can come in for help with scheduling, guidance about, financial aid, scholarships, sometimes even things like, they don't have a winter coat.
I didn't have anybody at home that understood what it meant and what it took to go to college. We're going to be able to help students that I once, now looking back, I could have benefited from those kind of supports. I think that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Pitt Greensburg plans on enrolling its first group of students this spring, followed by adding over 100 more this coming fall. Now, while Pitt Greensburg is installing this new TRIO program, let's turn over to Farah, our business and tech reporter, who's going to tell you about how the University of Pittsburgh system overall will be implementing AI into its curriculum. For Pitt to the Point, I'm regional campus reporter Nathan Newbar. Farah?
Thank you, Nathan. Claude AI, ChatGPT, and Google Gemini, the holy trinity of AI chatbots, is expecting to put faculty and students at the forefront of what is expecting it to do. At Pittsburgh, there's a growing international hub of robotics and AI, but how do we center this towards workers and their well-being?
In collaboration with Anthropic and Amazon Web Services, the University of Pittsburgh this month has rolled out Claude for Education Programming, an advanced AI model that is expected to help with studying, asking open-ended questions, and offer organizational support for students and faculty. But what do students and faculty think of this expansion, and how does this serve as a testimony for Pittsburgh's evolving AI ecosystem?
It's a great tool for you guys, for the students, and it's a great tool for us as both instructors and researchers. I encourage my students to use it with a very critical mindset, right? So being able to not overly rely on Claude, but for coding, it can be extremely helpful.
I think it's overall a net positive thing. It's overall a good idea that they did this. I think being able to expose students to equal opportunity to use these tools, because they're going to eventually use them in the workplace, I think it's overall a good idea. I can definitely say that you're definitely treading a gray area, almost on thin ice, but overall, you're going to be using this tool in the workspace. I think knowing how to give practice early on with that tool is really important. You need to know when you're going to be plagiarizing and when you're not going to be plagiarizing.
We are studying, in fact, the impact of AI on the well-being of workers. The concern was increasing among workers in general, but not driven by the workers who are actually most exposed to AI on their job. Right now, as we speak, we're trying to randomize an intervention where workers are exposed to either a mindset intervention where We kind of teach them how to deal with stress.
However, Governor Shapiro's 2026 to 2027 proposed budget mentions new standards for data center developers that could affect how the labor market polices AI.
The workplace, something that is crucial is really to involve the workers in a constructive, positive, engaging way. So already making them part of the transition and of the governance of the transition is crucial.
Oh wait, is it going to Jade or?
Camera one.
Thank you for teaching us more about what AI is going to do in Pittsburgh. As we graduate into our final segment, we will introduce you to the Pitt's new home of the 2026 commencement ceremony.
But before we do that, we're going to send you over to our entertainment reporter, Dave. And you may have thought we were bringing you Valentine's Day news, but we have even more right after the break.
Roll bumper.
This morning, you take your place in this honored tradition. You take your place in a time of great challenge and even greater opportunity.
Community comes at the cost of your comfort zone. You don't just stumble upon community in college, you create it. I hope that your journey outside of your comfort zone eventually leads you to a community that welcomes you exactly as you are. Class of 2029, whatever you're feeling right now, I hope that sometime soon you feel at home.
Congratulations, class of 2029, and good luck to you as you begin your journey.
As soon-to-be graduates move on from their college years, their commencement moves with them. Pitt's 2026 spring undergraduate commencement officially moved from the Peterson Event Center to Acrisure Stadium.
This decision was made to ensure all students walking across the stage this May 3rd are allotted an appropriate number of tickets for their friends and family. Deadline to register for commencement is April 9th.
So much is going on in the North Shore, I'm definitely going to get tired. I may even get lost.
Well, don't worry, because if you roam around the city, you may just find the fuel you need at this new mobile coffee shop. Let's wheel you over to our entertainment reporter, Jade Davis. Jade?
Entertainment reporter Jade Davis, and who am I here with today?
Penny Felino with the Roaming Bead.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about this drink that you have here?
Sure, that's our Sweetheart Matcha. We use ceremonial matcha. We put a vanilla base of 1883 all-natural syrups in there, and then we make the lavender cold foam.
That sounds delicious. I'm going to try this one. I'm also a matcha lover, so I'm really excited to try this one. This is really good. It's really smooth. I really like the lavender cold foam. I know that's something that's really hard to make. It's delicious. Okay, so let's talk about this one right here.
So this is made with an alternative milk. It's actually our raspberry waffle cone, which is our famous waffle cone. It's raspberry this month because of the Love is Brewing menu. And we did put some little sprinkles on top too for you, so definitely taste that one.
Aw, that's so cute. And I love the stickers. Okay. This is really good. I really like the smoothness of the coffee, and you can really taste the cold foam. It's delicious. Okay, so let's talk about some of these down here. Can you tell me a little bit about some of these sandwiches?
Sure. So we get Mancini's bread delivered every morning. We also use Willow Bend, famous homemade English muffins. So we craft all our sandwiches here. We do have quite a variety of sandwiches. We'll have some Lenten specials coming up as well. But this one is the Pittsburgh Brekkie. This one is a Pittsburgh favorite. It has double egg on top with sausage, hash browns, cheddar cheese. We make a spicy mayo, and of course it's served on the Mancini's twist.
Yum, that sounds so good. I'm going to try this one right here.
You hear that crunch?
It's delicious.
So it's one of those COVID things where we got bored. We couldn't travel too much, so we decided to take an old horse trailer and make it into a coffee truck. I think what makes us a little bit different is the coffee. Currently, we have a 3-country blend. We're working on a 5-country blend. The biggest secret was trying to keep this a secret for over a year while we were building it.
Because of the success of Roaming Bean, they have been officially asked to be a part of the NFL's coffee and partnership for the 2026 NFL. From Pitt to the Point, I'm Jade Davis. Ryan, Lucy. Thank you, Jade. Well, this show has been high-key amazing so far, so Barra, don't go anywhere, as next we have one of our favorite segments.
This week, Clubbing at Pitt will show you what the trill has been all around campus as the Heinz Chapel Choir gifts their voices for Valentine's Day.
HCC is a mixed a cappella choir. We meet Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5:50. We're faculty directed. I'm Patrick. I'm the president of the choir. We have existed since 1938. We were founded in conjunction with the Heinz Chapel itself. We perform mainly in the Heinz Chapel, but we also perform across the country. We've done multiple domestic tours before, and then we also have done lots of international tours, and we're doing an international tour this year. Our tour is to Estonia and Latvia, so we're singing a lot of music that is in Estonian or Latvian and has like a lot of history to those countries. And then we program by set, so our director, Dr. Rice, will kind of have an overall theme for whatever concert series we're doing, and then she'll break it down kind of into 3 groups, and then like each of those groups will have a title and they'll have kind of like a theme too. So right now we're here in the Tower's lobby tabling for Singing Valentines. Singing Valentines is a really fun event. It takes place the Friday that's closest to Valentine's Day. We take orders for phone calls and for in-person Valentines. So basically we will call someone, sing a short little Valentine song for them, give them a personalized message, or we will meet them in person on Pitt's campus and also sing them the same song and give them a fun message. Typically we set records each year for how many people we get. 2 years ago, I believe it was around 180, and that's including both in-person and phone calls. And then last year, I believe it was around 230, and that's including both in-person and phone calls. I really enjoy getting to table with everyone in HCC, getting to kind of see who's walking through Towers lobby and kind of persuade them to buy a Valentine. And then of course the day of, it's always kind of hectic when you're calling so many people and sending so many people out to sing the in-person Valentines, but it's always really sweet when we sing to someone's mom or grandmom or someone who's maybe a bit older and it kind of hits them a bit deeper, and you get to kind of see how different people react to it, and it seems kind of like fun and trivial on the surface, but I think it can be really meaningful for some people.
Well, you know, Ryan, Valentine's Day is in my top 2 favorite holidays, and so I really haven't gotten enough hearts or flowers or like teddy bears with sincere cards. What do you think about this beautiful day tomorrow?
I'm not the biggest fan of Valentine's Day, but I always think it's amazing to show some love to your family and your friends.
And Pitt to the Point, because show 2 is officially in the books. We had a blast bringing you news from all across the country.
The city and University of Pittsburgh has so much to offer. And trust me, the news isn't going to stop anytime soon.
Make sure to tune in next week at 8 a.m. for even more news on sports, entertainment, business, tech, politics, university news, city news, and possibly more guests.
The city is finally beginning to defrost, so make sure not to take the warmth for granted. Have a happy Valentine's Day, and watch out for Cupid's arrow, despite his questionable aim while pointed at me. I'm Ryan Tarabokia.
And I'm Lucy Landy. We'll see you next week on Pitt to the Point.